Commissioner Mark Glass, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Special Agent in Charge from the Tampa office, Mark Brutinel, and Special Counsel from our Office of Statewide Prosecution, Rita Peters. It's good to be back. I wish it was to talk about something more uplifting, but we do have a big announcement this morning that we are busting an international child pornography ring. We will be bringing charges against 8 individuals this morning, 7 of whom are Florida residents. As a dad of 3 little ones, it's tough to talk about some of this stuff, but what these guys were doing was truly heinous. There's not a word in the English dictionary that can describe the gross content that was on the videos. Our investigators have been able to get their hands on over 1 million videos showing sexual abuse on minors. Many of these individuals were babies that are being sold around the world. The 2023 National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reports over 36 million instances of suspected child sexual exploitation and over 100 million files related to child sex abuse material. And that's only what's getting reported. This continues to be a problem in our country, in our state. Protecting our kids is not an easy task to begin with, and today, with the access to the internet and social media, it allows these sick predators to more easily get access to our kids. And as I've said, my first 5-6 weeks on the job here, that's going to be a major priority for my office. The individuals that are being busted today that purchase this harmful content, many of them found it through TikTok. It was available online. They found access to a portal where they could purchase this dangerous material. TikTok has shown they can very quickly get stuff off their website. If there's unlicensed music or something going around, they've proven with a flip of a switch they can get it off. And it's taken too long for them to get some of this pornographic material and avenues to purchase harder, more gross content. We've got to get them to be more accountable. So we will be working on that. We are going to hold social media companies accountable that want to put our families and our kids in jeopardy. So today, these 8 defendants are being charged with multiple felony counts, including RICO, money laundering, and purchase of child pornography. Again, I can't tell you in words how gross this content is, but it shows the dangers, the evil that's out there. It is truly evil. And you've got my word that in this state, we are going to do everything we can to hold these people accountable. If you are a child predator, if you are one of these sick people, then I hope you never see the sun again. And I hope you certainly never have access to kids again. So we will continue that fight, and I want to give a very special thanks to Rita Peters from Statewide Prosecution for leading this fight. She's going to slap these guys around in the courtroom, and unfortunately I'm figurative in that comment, but thankful to her, as well as Investigator Abby George, who busted the case. So thank you. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Mark Glass.
Thank you, General. I appreciate it. I just want to say, first and foremost, General Uthmeier has stepped in and stepping up and stepping out. He is really allowing us to just move forward on these types of cases, these long-term cases, and continue on to get these evil, sick people behind bars. I want you to just take a look at that board over here with these folks. And it is just evil. The faces you see there are faces of evil. The General talked about, we can't even talk about what was on those films and what they had because it is that disturbing. More disturbing than you would see even in your movies, way more. It's evil. And the sad part about it, there's many more out there, just like these evil people. Many more, and we know it. And through the hard work and dedication of multi-agencies, such as HSI with DHS, our task force agents from multiple agencies across this Tampa Bay area and the rest of the state, FDLE, and our Office of Statewide Prosecution, we're able to get out there and get these evil people out of our society. put them where they belong, behind bars, answer to their crimes. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a husband, and I'm your state of Florida commissioner on FDLE. And the stuff that these evil people did emboldens not only me, but the men and women behind me to go out and get more of people like this off our streets. This will not be tolerated in the state of Florida. And when I became the commissioner of FDLE, this is one of my highest priorities, is going after sexual predators, sex offenders, child molesters, deviants that do this kind of stuff to our children. Not just our children in the United States, we're talking about children all across the world. We would be remiss not to talk about why it was such important to shut down our border. Children that these evil people do these heinous things with came across our border. I was out there, and the people that looks like it's their mother, it's not their mother. They're just muling the kid. And with HSI out there looking up the unaccompanied minors, we're helping them, FDLE shouldering with them to try to find these children that were brought into our system to make sure they're safe. And we want to make sure that every one of these children were safe that came across that border, that are here in the United States, first and foremost. But ladies and gentlemen, make no disclaimer here for you. This is evil, and it will not be tolerated in the free state of Florida. I'll be followed up behind me by the Special Agent in Charge, Mark Brutnell, to give you a little bit more in depth about this case. Mark.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Attorney General, for both of your support and your leadership. I know the team really appreciates you guys being here today. Thank you for that. So I'm going to kind of get into a little bit of the weeds of this investigation, which to me, this is one of those career cases. This is one of those cases where you're going to look back 10 years from now and say, I made some change. It was a lot of hard work, and I'm glad I did it, and the results speak for themselves. So what happened was in July of 2024, our agents were working proactively on the internet, looking for individuals that like to sell and distribute child pornography. And our agent found a chat room where he was speaking to an individual who directed him to a website called TributePrintedPics.com, which is on the internet. It's not the dark web, it's the straight internet. So our undercover agent went there and began a conversation with an unknown individual who wanted to sell him child pornography. At the end of the day, our agent purchased 6.7 terabytes of child pornography for $100. So I'm going to put that into context. That 6.7 terabytes is 1.2 million videos and pictures of some of the most egregious, disgusting content we've ever seen. My agent has done this for a long time, and he came to me after that purchase and having to view some of that stuff and said, boss, it was awful. It was awful. For him to say that, it had to be really bad. I've read the affidavits, and it makes me sick. So that's where the case really started off. So within a week after that, working with our Attorney General's office, FDLE and the Attorney General's office, we executed a seizure warrant on that website, TributePrintedPics.com, and we shut it down. We said, you're not selling that stuff on the internet. We shut it down. Within 2 days, several phone calls from law enforcement agencies all across the country, local, state, federal. Thank you guys for doing that. Thank you. A lot of them had active cases, and they could not figure out how to shut this website down. The state of Florida shut it down. So as the case progresses, we identify an individual from New Jersey, Krunalmar Modi. We realized he was a money mule for this organization. Let me back up. In the midst of our undercover chat, we also were directed how to pay the $100 for this 1.2 million files. So we went up to New Jersey, working with those authorities in New Jersey. We executed a search warrant at his residence, an arrest warrant, and all of his electronics, we did a very thorough scrub of his electronics, which produced a treasure trove of evidence. This is where the case really started to take off. We were able to identify an individual by the name of John DeVille. Clearly that was an alias, we knew that at the time, but John DeVille And Mr. Modi had over 500 transactions. So that's the volume of transactions of this CSAM that they were distributing and selling. Knowing that was clearly an alias, that was when the case really took off. That's when our primary goal was to find out who John was. As a part of this investigation, we were able to identify 7 people in Florida that had purchased this material from John through Modi. And those customers were identified as Brett Ryan Moore from Orange City, Michael Andrew Warden from Kissimmee, Jacob Ross Conley from Fern Park, Cody Vance Jordan Muti from Palm Bay, and Israel Cole Thomas from Lakeland. Now there's 2 customers up here on this board that I'm going to just kind of talk about them briefly. The first one is Frankie Pinero Jr. He is from Groveland, Florida. This individual was listed as a sex offender. He was currently on probation from a child pornography arrest that our office in Orlando did in 2019. He got a very light slap on the wrist for that case, and he was also sentenced to 20 years of probation. We know he bought a large amount of this disgusting material from our guy John, and it was on his phone. So I'm pretty confident, you'll hear from Rita here in a minute, he's not getting probation on this one. There's no doubt about that. Our second individual was a guy named Brett Allen Snodderly from Clearwater. Again, we know he purchased this material from John. During a search warrant at his residence, we found children's underwear at the residence. Now, we did our due diligence. We're positive he's not a hands-on offender, but obviously great cause for concern. His phone, which was very tech-savvy, we had to bring it back to the office, get into it with a search warrant, proper legal service, which we did. Ultimately, you guessed it, lots of CSAM on the phone. So about 7 days later, we get an arrest warrant. We have Clearwater PD go pick up Mr. Snarley. And when they do, what does he have? He has a new phone with even more child pornography on the phone. I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. You can't fix that, right? So this guy, we have his phone within a week, a new phone, more child pornography. As the investigation continues, we're always searching for John. We identify through HSI another money mule, Exima McQuaida from Portland, Oregon. She was a facilitator for the sale of this disgusting material. She has a current arrest warrant now for money laundering. We also identified suspects in Canada and Ireland, and we're working with HSI in that regard. So finally, after almost a year of diligent work, 140 subpoenas, 20 search warrants, endless hours of analysis. You see this chart here? That's kind of a way to break down the spider web that we had to sift our way through and figure out who's who here. We were able to identify John DeVille as Mehmet Bozayuk from Adana, Turkey. Mr. Mehmet was very deliberate in hiding his identity. He utilized multiple layers of VPNs, money mules, obviously, burner accounts, burner phones. He also used a lot of stolen personal identification information that he would steal off the web to send money through different channels. He really, really believed that he could outsmart us, but at the end of the day, he didn't. He tried to profit on this horrific abuse of children, but we caught him. A little back story on Mr. Mehmet. He's married with 2 kids, and this is his way of making money. We currently have an arrest warrant for him in the system. We are talking with HSI, our partners at HSI, to try to get him extradited to Florida, and I hope we can pull that off because he will be held accountable here in Florida, no doubt about it. An excellent case, the teamwork. Again, as a father, like everyone has mentioned before, I was amazed at these guys, the way their dogged pursuit of him. Again, it's one of those cases where you're going to look back when you're over with this career and say, I made a difference. That's just one network. I'm sure there's several more out there that we are actively going to target as well. So with that, I'm going to bring up ASAC McCombs from HSI to talk about their role in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, SAC Brutnell. It's a great honor to be here today to speak with you all on this case and most importantly our great collaboration with the state of Florida and its partners. No finer partners to have than partners at the state of Florida. FDLE is a tremendous, tremendous partner for us, and the citizens of Florida should be proud for the level of investigative effort that went into this investigation to keeping all of our families safe, to include my own. HSI has 90 offices in 56 countries all around the world, and a number of them were utilized in this investigation to uncover this network. You know, oftentimes we will bring these investigations to the state, but this one was the reverse. They brought us in on this investigation. We're very thankful for that. It's a great partnership when the federal government and the state government can combine resources and leave no stone unturned worldwide to uncover massive amounts of child pornography at a low, global, systemic level, and one that we're going to, you know, work very hard to dismantle. We will not stop in pursuing these investigations. We can't stop. And the level and brutality of these images are sickening, and I've seen a lot. I just want to thank the investigators on this investigation, some of the best that I've seen, the financial analysis, some of the best that I've seen in my 28 years of federal law enforcement, and very, very proud to be a part of this investigative team. And I also want to thank my investigators at Homeland Security Investigations in Tampa. Thank you.